The war between the Valkyrie Dominion and Earth's united front had burned across a dozen stars. For years, both sides had traded death without meaning, fire without purpose. And in the end, both sides had bled until the universe itself grew tired of watching. On the shattered moon of Vera 9, amidst broken mechs and craters still glowing from orbital strikes, a single human soldier remained alive, Sergeant Nathan Cole. His armor was half melted, his pulse shallow, but he was breathing. And next to him lay Queen Lyra of the Valkyrie, the last living monarch of her kind. She hadn't meant to end up there. The explosion that tore apart her command ship had thrown her escape pod off course, and when it crashed into the battlefield, she had crawled from the wreckage, broken, bleeding, her once golden wings burned to ash. When she found a human soldier slumped against a ruined transport, she had raised her blade to finish him, only for his trembling hand to press a med pack against her wounds. "Don't die here," he rasped, his voice weak but steady. "Doesn't matter who you are." No words in the Valkyrie language could match the absurdity of that moment. He was her enemy, and yet he had given her life. So she stayed. 3 days passed in silence. The storm outside the bunker screamed like the dying, but within, the two warriors lay in uneasy peace. Lyra tended to the soldier's fever, while he shared his rations. Protein bars and purified water she found strangely bitter but oddly comforting. When he spoke, it was never of hatred, only of home. "On Earth," he told her one night, his voice barely a whisper, "the sky burns orange when the sun sets. Feels like it forgives the day for everything that went wrong." Lyra had never understood forgiveness. Among the Valkyrie, mercy was weakness. Yet here was a creature dying, still talking of skies and forgiveness. On the 5th night, his breathing slowed. She pressed her glowing hand against his chest, channeling what little bioenergy she had left. "You will live," she hissed. "You must live." He smiled faintly. "You're warm," he murmured, eyes fluttering closed. "Feels safe." And then he slept, and she lay beside him, folding her scorched wings over his frail body to keep him from a cold. That was the night the Queen of the Valkyrie slept beside a human soldier. Weeks later, a recovery team arrived. Not human, but Valkyrie scouts searching for their lost monarch. When they found her, curled beside the wounded human, they froze. "Your Majesty," one gasped, lowering his weapon, "you must come with us. The war is over. He is the enemy." Lyra's eyes opened slowly. They glowed with the faint blue light of the Valkyrie crown mark. "He is not the enemy," she said coldly. "He saved my life when the stars themselves turned against us." They hesitated, but she stood, her once majestic form battered but unyielding. "He saved me when none of you could. When I was a queen of ashes and corpses, he gave me mercy. Tell me, which of you would have done the same?" The silence that followed was colder than the void outside. The scouts dared not argue. They carried both the queen and the unconscious soldier aboard their ship. When Nathan awoke, he found himself surrounded by alien healers, their luminous forms moving around him in quiet reverence. Lyra was there, standing at his bedside. "You're awake," she said softly. He blinked. "Did we win?" She tilted her head. "No one won, human. But the war has ended." He tried to sit up, wincing. "Then, I guess you'll go home." Lyra's gaze softened, her eyes like twin moons. "Home," she whispered. "I had a home. Then I met you." He didn't understand. Maybe he never would. But when she reached out and took his hand, he didn't pull away. Months passed. The galaxy tried to rebuild itself. Humans and Valkyrie began uneasy peace talks, always wondering why the once feared Queen Lyra now refused to leave the Terran outpost on Verine. Some whispered that the human soldier had poisoned her mind. Others said she was bound by an ancient vow. But those who saw her sitting beside him, quietly reading human history or helping him walk through the healing gardens, knew the truth. She stayed because for the first time in her long reign, she had found something greater than power. She had found understanding. When ambassadors came, offering her palaces and armies, she only said, "I sleep where peace was born," beside the human who taught me it was possible. And on clear nights, when the stars over Vera 9 burned soft and gold, she would rest her head beside him again. Wings spread, heart still, eyes closed. Not as a queen guarding a soldier, but as a soul who finally found a reason not to fight.